Okay, here we are. We got ourselves a project. We're going to do turf removal and then install artificial turf. So this is the backyard. We're going to pull all this grass out, put in artificial. So first things first, I'm going to abandon this manifold with control valves. I'm going to cut that pipe there, disconnect those four, and pull that manifold out. And that'll allow us to abandon in place the sprinkler system. So because as I get out there, I'm just going to crash through all the heads to do the removal. So that should be it. We're down here at the bottom of the driveway waiting for our delivery driver to bring us road base. Sean with Red Beard Trucking. I thought I heard him coming, but who knows? What's going on here? We'll see. I swore I heard a Jake brake. Hard to tell though. Hard to tell. Let's look at this driveway. Fairly steep driveway comes up. Fairly exposed on this side. We are going to open this driveway up a bit after we do all the turf and all the landscape stuff in there. We're going to come through probably about right here and take most of that bush out and come through and pull all these rocks, pull this thing back, and then dig all the dirt out, open it up so we can get a little bit more space in here for them to come and go. As you can see by the scratches and scrapes in that driveway, it's a fairly tricky one to get in and out of, especially if you're a little bit longer of a truck. You definitely can't come down and then hook it unless you're in a little car. So that would be the idea, to cut that open. Cut that thing open. Basically right there. Extend this culvert, this driveway culvert, another 20 feet up, and then fill this area in, basically up to these great big rocks. And then that'll give them a little bit more room to come in and out. The thing is if you come up this road, you can't make that turn in a big truck, but you have a better chance if you've got more ground out here to make that corner. So that's the goals. We're going to try to get that sorted for them. Well, I guess that wasn't Redbeard with the Jake brake, so that's an interesting deal. So in order to abandon that sprinkler feed, that irrigation feed, I'm going to have to come down here and shut the water off. This is the culinary water, and apparently it goes right up this hillside. Could you imagine trying to dig this in through this lava bluff? It's pretty tricky. We've done a few of them, and it's never fun. Let's pop this lid open and see what it looks like inside. Not very deep. Not very deep. Usually there's critters down in here too, but there's not. So we'll shut this thing off, go up, abandon that line. And then come put it back in service. So that's cool. Jeez, where is this delivery at? Oh, coming around. Redbeard. All right, so took delivery of that road base and then came over here and finished this irrigation abandonment. You can see I've cut and capped there, and this is our orbit manifold. This is a typical manifold that you can get at places like Home Depot or Ace or any of those sorts of places. So they are fully rebuildable, and all the parts are available. It's a pretty, I would say, non commercial or construction grade homeowner type system, but also it's a fairly reliable, good system. So we'll go ahead and put that there. I'm going to let this hole dry out a little bit before I backfill it. So I'll leave that open with the box here, and I'm going to go back down below and turn the water back on. We're walking down here now to turn that water back on, and I am going the wrong way. So this, what looks like a minefield, that's the word. Looks like a minefield of boulders is what's left over from the excavating driveway and or the water main, water service as it comes up. All these big boulders come out of the ground. You can see right here teeth marks from an excavator scratching to dig out these boulders. Another one with a pretty good tooth mark right there, as wide as my foot. This is probably a pretty large machine. You can see this big old chunky rock here, and then there we got this big bluff that they dug through to get that water up. So you can see over here others, but this little clear spot is right where the water goes. So pretty interesting. Quite the ordeal actually digging up frickin' lava bluff to put in a water service. You can see right there, this is what basically hard rock excavation. It's not solid, but you can't exactly just dig through it or dig around it. In some cases the boulders become so big. We've seen boulders, literally boulders, come off of properties up here as big as school buses that they've had to blast. And at that point, you're blasting. So I'm going to turn this guy on. What you do is you crack it slowly, watch the needle. You don't want to hammer the line, but there's no hammer. So that's weird. Usually you see a needle turn. So now what you do is you go up and inspect that. Sprinkler changes for a leak. You know the glue job you've done. Make sure that it is intact and holding. Oh shit. Almost dropped the water lid. Nope, I dropped the water lid. They're heavy. Cast iron water lids. And made in India. So that's cool. Most of our cast parts come from India here, which isn't much better than China, but, or is it better than China? I don't know. Kind of hoping to see a giant snake come out of these rocks, because that's exciting. Okay, end of day one. I got all the grass removed. I got the sprinkler control valve box deleted and abandoned. So I'm probably a quarter of the way done subgrading through this area. I got a pile of dirt built up that I'll haul out tomorrow in the morning, but I got a couple of roof drains exposed. I'll be working around those things. Hopefully they don't give me too much trouble, but other than that, not too bad for a day one for some idiot with a mustache. So stay tuned. I'll be doing day 2, day 3, all the way through day frickin' 25 probably out here. So stay tuned.